Google, with its extensive resources, experience, and user base, should have been able to compete with Facebook and other social networks. However, their attempts to compete have often failed, with Google+ being a notable failure. This video explores the rise and fall of Google+, revealing the real reasons behind its failure. Despite Google's impressive accomplishments, such as organizing the internet, indexing books, and creating new products, they have failed to create a social network that competes with Facebook. Let's get started. Part 1. Google's first 5 attempts. Google started exploring social networking with Friendster, which allowed users to connect with friends and share posts and images. Within a year of its launch, Google tried to buy Friendster for $30 million, but it ultimately failed due to the company's lack of experience and a lack of security measures. Orkut, the first social network owned and operated by Google, was named after its creator, Orkut Büyüküstün, a Turkish software engineer who developed the site as an independent project while working at Google. The platform was designed to help users connect with both new and old friends and had many of the features we associate with social networks today. Orkut's popularity mostly came from India, but its popularity declined after a serious security breach and a lack of new features. As other social media sites like MySpace and Facebook emerged, Orkut was eventually completely shut down. Google then launched another social network attempt, Google Friend Connect, which allowed website owners to turn their pages into social platforms. However, this failed again, and in 2010, Google launched Google Buzz, which integrated with Gmail. However, this implementation backfired, causing users to be surprised to find their email contact list and other Gmail data made public, leading to privacy concerns and controversy around weak security. In conclusion, Google's social networking projects have been a series of failures, starting with Friendster, Orkut, Friend Connect, Wave, and Buzz. It was time for a new strategy and Google's biggest social network project of all time. Part 2. Fear of Facebook. In 2010, Google was growing increasingly concerned about Facebook's increasing influence and potential impact on its ad business. Facebook's ad model allowed advertisers to target their ideal customers and introduce them to new products. This fear led to Google taking social networking more seriously, with Vic Gundotra driving the creation of Google+. Gundotra, who had joined Google in 2007 as vice president of social media, became concerned about Facebook's growing power and the personal data it collected. Larry Page, one of Google's original co-founders, agreed to put Gundotra in charge of Google+. After multiple failures, Google was determined to make Google+ a success, allocating significant resources and employees to the project. Larry Page even tied 25% of employees' bonuses to Google's success in social media, giving them a significant financial incentive to ensure Google+ succeeded. Google's market cap was over $200 billion compared to Facebook's private valuation of around $14 billion in 2010. Google had the resources and user base to win and defeat Facebook, but the project failed. Part 3. The rise of Google. Google+, launched in 2011, was initially promising with features like post updates, sharing photos and comments, sending direct messages, and group video chats called Hangouts. However, the unique feature of circles allowed users to group their contacts into specific categories and control what content they saw. This concept was designed to unify everything, so people had one single identity across the whole web connected to Google+. To create hype around the launch, Google decided to roll out Google+ gradually through an invite program. To join, users had to be invited by someone else, and when invited, they could send a few invites out to people themselves. This allowed Google to get feedback and fix bugs by rolling out gradually and creating a feeling of exclusivity and buzz around Google+. One of the earliest users of Google+ was Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg, who managed to get an invite from someone he knew in the tech industry. Facebook was so nervous about Google+ that Zuckerberg implemented a company-wide lockdown at Facebook, instructing all employees to dedicate their time to bringing Facebook's features in line with Google+. Google+ reached a peak with hundreds of millions of users by the end of the year. However, the biggest failure of Google+ was not its user numbers. The story shows how quickly fortunes can be made and lost when it comes to tech companies. Part 4. The many problems of Google. Google's launch of Google+ was initially successful, but it was later revealed that its initial hype and intrigue had already faded. The limited access to the platform meant that few people knew who was on it, affecting the network effect. In 2011, Google+ forced users to use their full real names, which was a significant issue as it connected to other Google services. This forced users to join Google+ first for various services, including YouTube, Gmail, and the App Store. The integration of Google+ into other services was also perceived as too forced, making users dislike Google+ before even trying it. Google+, initially praised for its user growth, was a ghost town due to its lack of unique features and a lack of content. Despite having over 500 million users at its peak, 90% of users spent less than 5 seconds per session on Google+, and over 90% of profiles were empty. Google made changes to improve the user experience, but the narrative that Google+ was a ghost town was already set. Critics argued that Google+ focused more on defeating Facebook than providing a fresh and exciting social experience. Google+'s main issue was its lack of a unique selling point or niche, which led to its decline. While Google+ did offer features like circles and group functionality, it was not as effective in building communities and making the site feel empty. Additionally, the mobile version was confusing and difficult to navigate, and Google+ initially stopped brands and businesses from creating their own accounts, further adding to its ghost town reputation. Google+ faced internal resistance due to its large budget, staff, and potential compromises. Employees prioritized user experience over their own service, leading to stress and a rift between Google and its senior team. Vic Gundotra left the company in 2014, and Mark Zuckerberg gained more followers than Google's CEO. A security breach exposed user data, leading to a class action lawsuit against Google and Alphabet. Google+ was permanently shut down in April 2019, marking its biggest failure. Part 5. Google versus social media. In 2019, Google+ was shut down officially. All of its features were moved to separate apps, but some features like video hangouts were lost. Morgan Knudsen, a former Google employee, said that the project and senior team were not working together and had no big picture. The pandemic made it hard for Google's shoelace social network to take off, even though the company tried to start it. Google made a mistake by focusing on features like circles and sparks. Users wanted ease of use and power over organization. The failure of social networks may have been caused by Google's attitude of quickly ending projects that aren't working. Most people liked apps like TikTok that were easy to use and didn't require a lot of looking. The learning curve for Google+ and Sparks meant that users had to look for and do their own work, which wasn't what most social network users wanted. This is it for today. We will have to wait and see if Google makes another social media site in the future. If they do, will it be able to deal with Facebook? Share your thoughts in comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so you can never miss our video.